If you're wondering why you may feel so deeply traumatised, upset and dysregulated off the hand of a breakup, this can be why. You can be traumatised by someone who has never laid a hand on you, because emotional abuse is often very hard to identify because it doesn't look like what we expect abuse to look like. Abuse isn't always loud, but it is always harmful. Emotional abuse, like I said, is often very hard to identify because it doesn't look like we often expect. It's not always yelling or threats. Sometimes it's silence, inconsistency, charm followed by coldness. It's the way that a person will shut down mid-conversation, and it's also the way that they might disappear when it matters most. They'll say things like, "I didn't mean to hurt you. You know I love you," off the back of actually doing something quite harmful and upsetting to you. They might dismiss you and gaslight you by telling you that you're being too sensitive. These aren't signs of empathy, they are deflections. They keep the focus on their intentions instead of your experience. And the truth is, intent does not undo the harm. It's not the intention that matters, it is the impact of their actions, of their words. You can be completely traumatized by someone who was never cruel on the surface, someone who said all the right things until it was time to follow through. You can be left confused, anxious, constantly questioning your reality, because emotional abuse doesn't just hurt, it erodes your self-trust. When someone avoids discomfort at your expense, when your needs are always considered by them too much, when their silence speaks louder than their words ever did, that is abuse. Even if they didn't raise their voice, even if they say they're doing their best. And if you're wondering whether you're overreacting, being too dramatic or too sensitive, you're not. You're having a completely valid, normal emotional reaction to behaviour that is not safe, even if it's quiet. You don't need their permission to name what happened. You don't need their apology to begin healing as much as we want it. And you don't need their version of the story, because oftentimes it is molded to fit their narrative so they can avoid accountability. You get to trust your body, you get to reclaim your voice, and you are able to honour the damage that they have done, even if they never will. And from that is where you begin to heal. I know it sounds simple, it is not reductionistic by any means. It is hard, it does take time, but I just want you to know that if you feel invalidated, if you feel unseen, if you feel unheard, you are not. It is someone's inability to emotionally self-regulate. It's their inability to meet you where you're at, and they're not able to deliver you the bare minimum. Now, it is hurtful, it is soul-crushing, but it never means that you are too much. You're never too much for having and wanting your basic emotional needs met. You're not too much for wanting emotional safety from your romantic partner. Now, if you would like to learn more about this, I encourage you to explore all of the other videos that I have on my Instagram or YouTube channels at Avoidant Recovery. Thank you for joining me, and I wish you all the best in your healing journey.